sort of players, but that was a really pleasing factor. We've got to try and exercise some of those demons, and just overall, they're playing a very, very good quality championship side with players that can really hurt you all over the pitch. And to do that, well, like I said again, with lads that are coming in out of the cold, Adrian Matthews, I think that's his first start since 2025. There's other players as well. I'm not sure when the last time Harvey started a game was, and so for a number of those performances, I was extremely happy with the boys.
We'll talk about the game in a bit more depth in a second, but there's only really one place to start with Adrian's performance. How pleased were you with his hat-trick, his form in front of goal, and his performance on the whole?
Performance on the whole, very, very pleased. That's the thing that I like to focus on with the players, and the performance was good. I thought he was a constant threat on the right hand side and ran in behind very well, looked after the ball brilliantly, which is something we've been really working on, focusing with Segs, making sure he does take care of the ball when he's playing as a 10 or he's playing as a wide man. The first finish, with all that time, you've seen them time and time again, you have all that time and thinking about the finish, so really pleased that went in the back of the net. Sort of poacher's finish for the second one, and a brilliant typical Adrian Segicic for the third, and maybe could have had one more as well. So I'm absolutely delighted for him, because he's had an excellent season. There'll be times where he's thought he should probably be playing a little bit more, and that's fine. He's a very, very confident young lad, and he's showing today why he should. But he's kept his head down, he's kept working hard, and he's got his rewards today. And brilliant timing for him as well, going into the summer with some big selection decisions for national teams to make.
And say 21 years of age, came from Australia, still got bags of potential. Has his impact surprised you at all? Obviously now extending his lead at the top of the scoring charts with 9 goals.
Yeah, I think it's 10, isn't it?
10.
Is it 10? Yeah, because he scored on Tuesday night, so he got his 7th on Tuesday night, the hat-trick tonight. He hasn't surprised me massively because of Adrian's scoring potential, and we knew that off the back of the A-League. It was joint top scorer in the A-League last season. I probably didn't think that he would hit the ground running quite like he did. We always expected him to have the season he did, where there's going to be times where he plays, there's times where he's out the side, there's times where the pace and the level of the championship, something where we just protect him from that and bring him out. But he's bided his time, works incredibly hard in training, and he's deserved everything that he's got today. So I think overall, when the dust settles, we look at that and think it's been a very pleasing first season for us for him.
Who else impressed you out there today?
I think there's context to a lot of the performances. First of all, Ben Killip coming in out of the cold for his first game, I think, since Sheffield Wednesday. I thought he did excellently well. I thought his distribution was very, very good. Hayden Matthews, his first start since 2025, he was excellent. Now, there's some other very good performances, but I won't talk about Doz because we know how good he is. I talk about Luke LaRue because of the fact that he's had another difficult season, and today showed really, really sort of good elements to his game, both on and off the ball. And then Harvey as well. Harvey to come and have the effect. The assist for the first goal is very, very good. Extremely good football. He needs to learn to build up that tank of endurance and energy so he can keep doing that for 90 minutes, because he's nowhere near that yet. But it was another pleasing performance. So obviously away from Segs, you'd pick out as man of the match. There were some extremely good individual performances.
Yeah, I was going to say it was 5 changes. A lot of those players you just mentioned haven't played as many minutes as they might have hoped for at the start of the season. How much off-season or does the sort of final knockings give you an opportunity to look at those players and see what they can do? Yeah,
I mean, we had the same over the past couple of seasons. 2 games to go, and we've secured what we wanted to secure with 2 games to go. And having done that, it was a case of going, well, Regan needed a rest. Shocks was feeling his calf a bit. Marlon has been playing on about 4 different injuries, and he's been so pivotal to us. It was lovely to be able to bring him out, very similar with Ibu, and it's very useful for me. I can see how those boys perform in a different environment, and sometimes there's probably nervousness from me when you're thinking about throwing one of the young lads in a certain game, and they had to grasp their chance today. That was a really important thing. It wasn't a free hit for us. It was an opportunity for players to go and grasp the chance with both hands, and they all did it.
And how much of that is looking ahead to next season and trying to decide who stays and who goes? Obviously, a lot of fringe players having opportunities, and some of them taking the opportunities.
Yeah, I think what we don't want to do is we don't want to be reactive off the back of one game, and we see these players day in, day out. So the decisions that we make and how we build the squad for next season is based upon the whole season, and not just today. But if you put in a good performance, it certainly stands you in good stead to go forward for the rest of the year. And the lads have given themselves that opportunity where we look at that and really assess it over the next week or so.
So in some cases it could be playing for futures over the next week or two.
Yeah, and I think everybody, the point I'd always want to make is that whenever you pull on a football shirt, whether it's Portsmouth or any other football club, you're always playing for your future, you're always playing for something. There's somebody watching in the stands, there's me watching, there's the fans who have travelled in their numbers today for essentially a dead rubber, which is absolutely outrageous, the support we got. And so there's always something to play for, and I think the best professionals and the best players in the game manage to do that regardless of whether we're playing a little five-a-side at home in the training ground here. They get themselves ready for the game, and they know that every single thing they do day in, day out impacts their future.
And just finally, final away game of the season. You mentioned the fans there, travelling the numbers, packed out the away end. Give the final word to them. What's your message to them after a long season of travelling up and down the country, week in, week out, supporting the team? Yeah,
it was just outrageous today. I spoke to John and Eddie, turned around before the first ball had been kicked, and just thought, these lots, they're made of something else. Could have been, could have been in their beer gardens, could have been shopping, could have been doing something else. There's nothing to play for today, and we completely packed out the way end. The noise was incredible. I know we obviously rewarded that with that performance on the pitch, but that was a nice part for me to be able to do that off the back of what happened here last year, to do that off the back of Tuesday, and do it off the back of what's been a tough season for the fans in general, because of the fact that when you're in a relegation battle you lose more games than you win. So really pleasing to be able to send them back home, and send them back home with smiles on their faces, and hopefully we can follow it up next week.
You shared a special moment with them at the end with the old fist pumps.
Yeah, I'm very reluctant to do that. It's not something that I don't do after wins. I just don't know. It's just not me. But today it's one of those that I think actually now they're almost the same game every season. I think I did it away at Lincoln in my first full year. Then it was at home to Watford last year and away to Stoke this year. So yeah, to give the guys a bit of joy and something they don't see every day was great.
Thanks, John. Congrats.